Committee and Delegation reports. Report of the Joint Select Committee on Trade and Investment Growth. Resumption of debate.
The question is that the document be noted. I call the member for Flem.
Thank you, Madam Deputy Speaker. Our committee, the Joint Select Committee on Trade and Investment Growth, have conducted an inquiry into business experiences utilising the Australian existing FTAs. Our committee looked at 6 FTAs that have been in existence for some time and the experiences that Australian businesses had to embrace the benefits of the FTAs, or in fact any real obstacle that they encountered with these FTAs. The findings of such an inquiry were useful in informing the government's efforts to promote and utilisation of the North Asian FTAs, as well as the future use of FTAs currently under negotiations. The 6 countries he looked at were New Zealand, Singapore, Thailand, USA, Chile and Malaysia. The inquiry did not focus too much on the last 3 FTAs in Asia, that is the Korean, Japanese or China. But in some cases there were common issues that we looked at. We did not look at the TPP, the Trans-Pacific Partnership, currently agreed but still under negotiation and formal acceptance. Whilst government processes have been very careful or been very successful in conducting these FTAs, our committee, after listening to about 45 submissions, either in paper or in physical eye-to-eye contact with these different groups, we came up with 13 recommendations. Firstly, that DAF should include in their future negotiations, they should have with them financial service regulators. We thought that was important. That the Department of Ag continue to negotiate the fruit fly free status of particular regions of mainland Australia. In other words, some parts of Australia are considered fruit fly free, but it's not recognised, and apart from Tasmania, which is an island state and have much cooler temperatures. So we thought that was a very important part. Thirdly, that the Tasmanian Freight Equalisation Scheme to include all exports that go by sea or by air. Review and the seminars with target audiences across FTA's regions to deliver quicker and more effective communications. We found there was a breakdown in how quick the information got out, how quick people could get information, and that was slowing down the process. DFAT ensure that the FTA dashboard is designed for easy access to all FTAs. The thing with that was that with the 6 existing FTAs, the 3 new FTAs and the 12 countries under the TPP, we thought it's going to be a maze of confusion if there's not a dashboard set up to handle the inquiries, handle where potential exporters were going to go to for advice. So the DFAT is really working hard on that dashboard and will be available very soon. We thought that the 24-hour, 7-day-a-week access to the export document hub was important. Our exporters don't work 8 to 5, 5 days a week. That's around-the-clock enterprise, and we thought we should have the documentation, and we created as a government to be available for them to use any time of the day or night. Recommended that the export marketing development grants recognise anti-counterfeiting measures as an expense. Anti-counterfeiting is an issue, and people like to, purport to have a product that is not entirely what the labelling says. DFAT provide assistance to partner countries to build their capacity to access sanitary and phytosanitary risk. Prior to the FTA negotiations by government industry assistance, there should be targeted towards exporters who may want a presence in that particular market. For instance, if the cherry growers of Tasmania wanted insight into what our FTAs, what India might bring in the future, they should be a very, very important part of that task force that look at the free trade agreement with India. The department should develop a workforce strategy to take advantage of these agreements. And we go on. Develop a recognisable Australia Brown logo depicting our clean green energy status. We found that some countries were only too willing to label a product it's similar in colour and packaging to our successful exports. This we found as could be addressed by having a specific brand, Australian brand logo, would counter that. DFAT and Trade Commissioner conduct before and after modelling to be made available to the public. In other words, do not keep the public in the dark, and bring them in, embrace them into the negotiations so everyone knows what's going on. Finally, that DFAT involves Australian pig industry bodies and both employer and employees should be involved in negotiations.